Do you like being that DPS warrior on the battlefield? Then do I have the early game Slayer build for you for Dragon Age The Veilguard. We're going to go over the skill tree, we're going to go over the items, I'll even show you in combat. So let's start with our skill tree. And now this is how it's looking. Obviously, follow this path as best you can. Now you cannot unlock this section until you get to level 20, so bear that in mind. So if you want to respec and follow this like as I go, perfectly fine. If you're starting from the very beginning of the game, just follow the path as best you can until you get here. Now, the amount of points we have available, as you can see, is here. And let's jump in, and we're going to start the skill tree by coming directly down to Tumbling Blades. Really good because you are going to roll around a lot, just being able to do a really good attack afterwards. To the right we're going to come and we're going to get Rancor. So Rage takes 50% longer to begin to decay. Obviously that's really good because Rage equals abilities, basically meaning less chance you're going to lose your abilities while out of combat, while you're not using them, all that fun stuff. To the bottom right we're going to come and collect Spectral Bulwark. Just a really nice defensive based skill, to be honest. You're not going to be the most tanky in this build, so it's just nice to be able to deflect and damage enemies that come at you. To the top right we are going to take Enraged, so Rage Generation plus 10%. Again, quicker rage, more abilities. Coming back to Spectral Bulwark and to the south, Killer Instinct. Stagger from abilities plus 20%. Filling up the stagger bar equals takedowns, and takedowns is huge damage. To the bottom left we have Triple Threat. Equipped in an ability of each damage type increases ability damage by 20%. Not the most handy, I won't lie, but we need it to progress to Shellbreaker. Damage versus armor plus 20%, and loads of enemies have armor in this game. We're going to come to the bottom left again and take Flames of Victory. Gain Flaming Weapon on a successful takedown. You generate 25% more stagger from weapon hits while Flaming Weapons is active. Again, so we're just going all that way of building up our stagger quicker to do takedowns quicker, and then takedowns will give us Flaming Weapons, and then we'll be able to get even more stagger quicker, meaning more takedowns quicker, and you're just tunneling out the DPS. At this point, from the top left, we're going to go to Concentration, so charge attack damage plus 10%, and top left again to Guardian's Reprieve. Performing a takedown heals you for 250 health and grants Deflect. Deflect means you don't take damage from the first attack that gets through to you, which is amazing, as well as healing. And because we've got quicker stagger, because we can get takedowns quicker, you can really heal yourself and just be like really self-sufficient and not need to rely on your companions or healing potions. Now come back down to Concentration, we're going to come back down here to Flames of Victory, and we're going to fill out both sets of the skill tree. So to the left, we're going to come and we're going to get Staggering Charge, so stagger from charge attacks plus 20%. So not only do we now have the extra 10% damage from it, we now get 20% more stagger, meaning more takedowns, and therefore we've just got this huge never-ending circle going. We're going to take Overhand Smash. So Smash abilities now deal an additional 50% damage versus armor and deal 50% more stagger. Now bear that in mind, that's for Smash abilities. And below that we're going to take Precision Strikes. Hitting an enemy with a strike ability deals increased damage equal to 50% of your base weak point damage. We're then going to come to Whirlwind, which is a Smash ability. It costs 2 Rage, and as you can see, it's great. And of course, being a Smash ability, it benefits from Overhand Smash. To the right of that, we're going to take Bulwark for physical resistance plus 10%. We're going to take Quick Strikes. Defeating an enemy with a strike ability replenishes 25 Rage. Incredible. And below that, hitting enemies with a Smash ability permanently reduces their defense by 20. Coming back to Whirlwind, we're going to come to the left and we're going to take Bulwark, Penetration plus 15%. And to the right, we're going to take Rolling Thunder. Not the best skill we need, to be honest, but we do need it to get into the Slayer specialization and to unlock for Gold and Glory. This is your ultimate ability and it's really, really cool. Does huge amount of stagger. Again, stagger equals takedowns. Takedowns equal huge damage and health and rage. And below that, Heroic Leap. This is a strike smash ability, which means it benefits from everything we have unlocked on the skill tree here. Now coming back to Rolling Thunder, we're going to go to the left again to Bulwark, and we're going to come this way to Executioner's Gaze. Final attacks are critical hits versus enemies with low health. And to the left again, Concentration. Charged attack damage plus 10%. So if we look at our items, for a sword we're using the Raider's Cleaver plus 4. 15% damage versus health. I put a rune on for 20% barrier damage. Now obviously you might not have all these items, or you might not have them to this point, like this upgraded. Take whatever you need to that's as close to this or similar, or even if it's its weapon but a little less, and just work your way on upgrading them. Below that, the Ravani Thornback, so really good stagger physical damage, plus 20% fungal attack damage and 20% penetration when you begin to unlock it, and I just put a rune of 20% armor damage on top. Now for a two-handed weapon, this is the most important. I really like the Winged Glaive, plus 15% light attack damage as the first buff, and I put a rune of 25% more stagger, because again, stagger, takedowns, damage, healing. Like I said, we've got that never-ending loop going. For a hat, I really like the Corvid Calling Mask. So again, light attack damage eventually, damage versus health eventually, and I just put a rune of cold resistance on. At this point in the game where I am, I don't have many runes unlocked, to be honest, so I can, enchantments I should call them. So I just went with cold resistance, and on the armor I went for fire resistance, but you can switch these for any other resistances you see fit. But that brings me to the armor, which is the Brawler's Decorated Leathers, and I really like this because of the rage generation and the lack of rage decay as this builds up, meaning you will pile out the DPS even more than you did before. And that brings us to our items here. So for a belt, I really like the Tincture Kit, Healing and Revival Charge. For an amulet, I really like the All-Mother's Corpse, 20% smash ability damage, 25% armor damage from smash abilities, and you'd gain 25 rage when using a smash ability. And I put 20% armor damage just on it because obviously dealing with the armor, and we already have a buff for armor damage with our smash abilities from our skill tree. It all just ties in nicely. For rings, I really like the Bleeding Corvus, physical damage, that's what we are just relying on. And I put an Apply Shot on ability critical, as well as the Twin Palladium, plus 4 rage on a kill, and eventually plus 15% rage generation and plus 15 maximum rage, as well as a rune for 25% rage generation. Again, more rage equals more abilities. Now for your items, for your abilities, I'm using the Spectral Bulwark, I'm using the Whirlwind, Heroic Leap, and for the ultimate, for Gold and Glory. Okay, we have some combat, so let's get this going, and you'll see we can use our Spectral Bulwark with no rage needed. And we can just start slicing and dicing. And as you can see, they took damage from that. You'll see the big damage we're doing with our charged attacks. See, our rage is building up. And if we will come over here, we've got a nice big cluster here. Let's do our big smash attack. You'll see just how much damage that just did. And this is what this build is all about, just huge DPS, getting that rage up, piling it out, and eventually being able to land your abilities, get those staggers and all sorts. And you can see there, because we are using a lot of our two-handed weapon, we got an easier chance of knocking enemies off of places. Look at the barrier damage. If we charge it up, you'll see just how much damage we do with this. It's an incredible build. And again, you have the defensive option of being able to have your Spectral Bulwark, as well as the rage generating so quick you land these attacks so often. Just like that. And to see what level we are playing on, or what level difficulty I should say, if we come to our settings, you shall see we are playing on Underdog, so you know just how good this build is. So I really hope you have enjoyed and this helps you in your early game, especially if you're playing around with the classes. If you haven't already, please let me know in the comments below what other items you would use, what differences, what companions, your skills from the skill tree, all that fun stuff. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me amazingly. I've got a bunch of Dragon Age The Veilguard content on here, from Let's Plays to streams to other build guides, so I really hope you enjoy. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.